I'm George Boston Rhymes, and this is kvci.blogspot.com. YouTube Boston G.B.R. I am here in Volloton's Park with Minister John Robinson and his wife Pat, operators and owners of Let's Eat Cafe on Highway 84 West. They are feeding people in the community free today. They have barbecue ribs and barbecue chicken. And believe it or not, we have a lot of young people. We're going to go into the park. I'm going to interview some of the young people. We're going to listen to some poetry. We're going to have other people to speak. And we do all this because we want you informed. Too often the Valdosta Daily Times and our local news media keep backing up from what happens in our community. But me, Brother Rhymes, on Boston G.B.R. channel on YouTube, I'm going to continue to walk towards you because I know the value of the truth as recorded in the book of St. John. Wherein it reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free." And so I realize that without truth there can be no freedom. And so I'm going to give you a little bit more truth as we go into Volloton Park, eat, fellowship, pray, have fun, and may cause those who dislike truth, just may cause them a little pain. Once again, George Boston Rhymes, kvci.blogspot.com, in the city of Valdosta, Georgia, in the county of Lowndes, and in the state of Georgia, and in the country of the United States of America. And we must understand that Valdosta is home to Moody Air Force Base. Yet for the last 3 weeks we have seen our only daily newspaper, the Valdosta Daily Times, ignore the black leaders and white right leaders in our community as they spoke for the good of our children in this community. It was as if though there was a tree that fell in the forest, and then they turn around and tell us that the forest does not exist. When we were at the Valdosta City Council meeting where people spoke, but not one word was published in the Valdosta Daily Times, nothing on television, and nothing on radio for the most part. It is indeed a sad day for freedom of the press, freedom of speech here in Valdosta, Georgia, and open government and the sunshine laws of the state of Georgia. We can only imagine how the voters must feel when they want to know how their elected officials are standing up for them, but without a news media here in South Georgia to tell their stories in 2013 in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yet they can send their sons and daughters into foreign lands to fight for the rights of others, while they are going to hell by suppressing and abating the truth. Bye-bye.
I work 7 days a week so you can have food to eat. I do a lot of overtime, working hard on the assembly line. Every day I'm working hard for you. I don't mind working, baby, not as long as you've been true. I don't mind putting in all this overtime. Ooh, baby, I'm working hard, baby. I'm working 7 days a week so you can have shoes on your feet. so you can have a place to sleep. Doing all this overtime, baby, so you can dress up and look fine.
In the county of Lowndes in the state of the United States of America, but we're in the state of Georgia. We have an event here today. We hope that we can get some people here to talk. For too long, Valdosta have been without a news report that will work for the uplifting of our people. We know that the local mass media too often ignore us. But thank God to YouTube and others in the community, we're going to get the job done. Of course, John Robertson, who is over here cooking, he the one put this on. We want you to go through each clip, each video that we have, each interview that I do today, because we want Valdosta Mayor John Gale, we want Governor Deal, we want President Barack Obama to hear from the heartbeat of the hearts in black folk that just possibly have never been revealed before. We want you to listen to it, and we want you to pay attention to what's going on. I have a beautiful brother right here. Come here, my brother. Come on around. Let's get started. What's your name?
My name is Timothy Howard.
I'm glad to have you, my beautiful brother, being a young man. How old are you?
I am 32 years of age.
Tell us, as you view the world through the eyes of a young black man, tell us what's your major focus today and what are you doing here in God's world?
My major focus today is to bring justice to my people. For we have been in an injustice for a long time. We need to be equal in this world. We have jobs, we have grants, we have all kinds of money that's coming from our governments that's been sent down to our people that are not being used correctly.
Hold on just a minute, I don't mean to interrupt you. This is something that John Robinson, myself, and others, Mobley, have been talking about for a long time. So what kind of work you into? So when you talk about grants, you talk about Section 3. We've been addressing this for over 3 to 4 years, our elected officials, and we have gone to HUD up at 40 Marietta Street in Atlanta. So what you are saying is that you are young, but yet you still know that the federal dollars come in here is not being used as you think they should be used. Is that what you're saying to the mayor and to HUD office in Atlanta? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying to the mayor. That's exactly what I'm saying to the HUD office in Atlanta. Somebody please show us some attention, because we are out here and our people are struggling. And it's not a game, it's serious. You wonder why we resort to drugs and violence. That's because we've been pushed to drugs and violence. You want these streets to be clean, but you put my people in a situation to fail. How can we be clean and how can we succeed if you are putting us in a structure that's designed to fail? We cannot achieve what we want to achieve. We cannot be who we want to be if we are in a system that is designed to fail.
Thank you, my beautiful brother. Doc Robinson, is this kind of what we've been saying, that if the Valdosta Daily Times and if the television stations can block out the voices of the young people, all they can see our young people do is on the front page for commit crime, but behind the scene you talk about the underworld. You talk about what happened with the food stamp programs and how they manipulate. Will you tell us about that? First of all, what's your name?
They call me Doc. I'm John Robinson from the Lessings Cafe.
And why did you put this on today?
And I'm a minister from the First Antioch Missionary Baptist Church here in Lowndes County. We are suffering from economic oppression, and there's $1 billion have come through our county, and our entrepreneurs haven't had an opportunity to make $100,000 out of $1 billion. This system is too one-sided here in this place. And it's time for some justification to be done, and what we coming together today to do is bring everybody together. It's trying to bring everybody together so that we can get something done out here. This is about everybody. This is about the people, for the people. And there's no charges for anything that we're doing here today. This is to bring everybody together so that we can get on one accord, because we want to echo a message to everyone that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired of just not having anything. See, in our black community, we don't have anything here. And we are sick and tired of it being so one-sided. So we decided to come together so we can do something about it. Okay, it's point blank.
Thank you very much, Doc. I know you're doing something. We'll get with you later, okay?
All right.
Thank you, my beautiful brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's John Robinson, and John Robinson is a person that I met years ago and it ain't no 2 or 3 ways of putting it together. He just stands up for the community. He may be criticized, life been threatened like mine. We help black folk when black folk won't help us. But it's not about us. It's about our children. It's about coming generations. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Noble Drew Ali, and others fought for me before I knew what the fight was all about. But what I'm thankful for today is that there is a new breed of young folk, perhaps the best young people that we have ever produced in the black community, because number one, they ain't scared as hell. We look for our preachers, we look for our doctors, we look for our attorneys, we look for the mothers and fathers to step up to the plate and take on something that will make it better as our ancestors did before them. But it seems like all they do is dip, and I'm not criticizing them. Dip means to duplicate Jesus, duplicate Martin King, duplicate other great leaders. They dip. They imitate these great men, and they placate them, but when it comes down to actually doing what they did, which was to put their life on the line for the betterment of coming generations, they are nowhere to be found. Brother, close us out with words from a young person's perspective. Close us out.
Look, it's time to stop duplicating. It's time to stop imitating. And it's time to stop placating. Man, this is real. I'm out here every day. I'm out here. My people out here starving. These people out here eat. Man, it's time for a change. We need Valdosta, all of my people. Man, it's time for us to come together. We came here to set a fire today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We came to set a fire today. And we're going to set a fire today. We're going to put some fire up under these mayors. We're going to put some fire up under these governors. We're going to put some fire up under these city and Lowndes County jails. Man, look here. They out there torturing my people in these jails. No, it's not right. It's not right.
My beautiful brother, let me cut across the chase here now. Why do blacks, why you commit the crime that even be in the jail in the first place? Regardless of what it be, this is the question they're asking. If you don't want to be mistreated in the jail, why do you commit the crime to even be in the jail in the first place? Why do you do the black on black crime in the first place so you won't even have to be at the hands of law enforcement?
You know why these crimes are being committed? I'm going to tell you why these crimes are being committed. Because in our hood, it's a jungle. It ain't no justice in this hood. This hood is for real. Man, like I said, we starving to eat. Man, my people got to feed their children. And we gonna do whatever we got to do by any means necessary to feed our children. Straight up.
So coming from the heartbeat of a young man, y'all excuse me, I don't hardly get this opportunity much to find a black man who will speak out and tell the truth. So what you're saying, that if you got child support, and if you got things that's due, if nobody hire you on the job because you may have a police record or you may have a felony, what you are saying is that you don't have no way to get income, so you are saying that you're going to rob a convenience store. I'm not justifying it, I don't think you either. But what I'm saying is you saying that you need a second chance, or you do, what are you really saying short for?
I'm saying that there is no second chance in Valdosta, Georgia. Once you mess up down here in Valdosta, Georgia, it's just like the old slavery system. That jail out there is just like slaves being bought. Once you get into that system, your life here in Valdosta, Georgia, you might as well say is decline and over. Because you're going to resort to what you have to do. And we as a people, we go back to what we know how to do. What we know how to do is provide for our people. And like I said, whether it result to drugs and violence, we're going to provide for our people by any means necessary. Man, if you ain't gonna give me no job, if I can't come out and fill out an application where a black man can get the position instead of the white man, what you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do? I have nothing else to do. I have no other choice.
Well, is this also why young black men are joining the gangs? If they don't have anybody to hire them, if they are looked down on, what other hope do they have in terms of a unified connectiveness? What are you saying that? Do you think what contributed to the gang activity here in Valdosta?
This is what contributed to the gang activity.
Because we don't know.
You got a young man. He's coming up. He's going to school. He's in the system that's designed to fail. Okay, he may mess up in school. Like I said, there's no second opportunities for this black man. Once he's out, he's out. Okay, now he's in the street. That's like a young child going off into the darkness at nighttime. Where is he going? What is he gonna do? Man, once he's out there, of course, he's gonna adapt. And he'll adapt to his people. And he has a group of people, whether it be Blood, whether it be Crip, whether it be GD, that's willing to take him in, that's family. That's somebody that's willing to provide and do for him. And I'm gonna tell you something about these gangs. Now, these gangs ain't all bad. You see these people that's down here living up under these bridges, these gangs go by and feed these people every day. These gangs go by and help elderly people that are in our neighborhood.
No, brother. I ain't gonna let you get away with that. You telling me that the gangs here in Valdosta actually feed the hungry? Are you telling me that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, why is it?
Them our people. Them our people. We don't forget about our people.
Now, since you said that, would you be willing to call Greg, which is my friend, Greg at Channel 6, or Kay Harris, and tell that story? Or will the gang members come out and behind closed, even they got behind the curtain, and let the people know what's going on, that people are hungry and they need some type of connectedness with another human being, and so they join the gang for affiliation and association? Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Did you make that commitment here on YouTube?
I am more than willing to do that. But are you willing to add this story?
Listen, I got over 200 videos on YouTube, over 150,000 hits and views, and we have no intentions of letting up. The reason I do what I do, and will, to answer your question, yes, I will do it. I've already done it. My life has been threatened. But I will do it for black people and white right people, because it is the order of John 8:32, which says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. I don't give a damn about going to church, sitting in church and hollering hallelujah every Sunday. I don't care about that.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a minister like that. My thing is to do what Jesus did. Jesus put his feet on the street. Jesus didn't just talk about the resurrection of his body after he died. He talked about feeding the hungry. In fact, Jesus said this: if you fail to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit me when I was in prison, then who are you serving? Exactly. So yes, I'll report your story, short form.
Yes, sir. And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this story. But I do have a black activist that's willing to report this story. And that's what we need. You see my people? You see my people? This is my hood. This is where we come from. This is not a game. We out here for real. This is not a joke. We do this every day. Yes, we resort to drugs and violence. I'm telling you in your face. And it's true. Because we've been pitched a lie. We've been set up in a system that's designed for failure for our black people. Man, it's been over $1 million in grants and loans sent down here to Valdosta alone. Do you know that black people can't even get $100,000 out of $1 billion?
Can I ask you a question? Are you in construction, so you know what you're talking about? What do you do every day?
I do entrepreneurship. I do brick work. I build things. I'm building my people. That's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you know about the contract system, you know about Section 3, wherein the federal government since 1968 saw that black African Americans and poor whites have been excluded from the economic pie in certain communities, and Valdosta and Lowndes County just happen to be one. And those funds are going to the same people that it's always been going to. And like Dr. Roberts and myself have been trying to do, is to try to make it more inclusive rather than exclusive, so we all can benefit. So our children will have employment. Our children in school will be proud about getting an education to maybe go in the field of engineering and economics, and something that they will benefit from the dollars that come to the community rather than being excluded.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I stay in Orly West, on the east side, in the projects. And what I'm saying to y'all is that y'all sending the money that's sending to fund the people that are out here, out in Kinderloop. How can somebody out in Kinderloop know what my needs are when I stay in Orly West? They're not seeing our provisions. They don't see what we need here. They don't know what we need down here in this community. They staying out in the gated community. The police don't even ride through their community, but yet and still they stalk us every day, looking for an opportunity to lock a black man up, to put us in another situation that's designed to fail. Come on, man.
Brother, let me ask you a question in closing. I'm sorry, I appreciate this, because it's like a breath of fresh air. Very seldom do we get to hear from the young people. all we get to hear from the young people, what they publish on TV about us, is that we don't want to work, number one. Number two, that we're going to rob great-grandmama and snatch her purse and take off and run with it. But from what you were telling us today, that there's two sides to every story. And the story that you are telling is one that don't make it on the front page of the Valdosta Daily Times because the person just can't find a job and want to work. We know there are people who don't want to work, but there are some people who want to work and can't find work.
Yes, sir. Man, these are calluses on my hand. No
yes,
joke.
Sir.
This ain't no joke. Man, I get out here, man, I work my fingers to the bone to feed my daughter, take care of my family. If I can't get out here and find a job or find any work to take care of my family, what do you expect me to do? Now, I ain't giving you this face for nothing. My people getting mad. My people getting impatient. They got a right to be impatient. What you think we gonna do? Now, before it results to violence, I hope somebody get this message and reach out and do what's right. Man, we ain't asking for you to put us ahead of everybody else. We are asking for equality. That's all we want to do is be equal. Okay. That's it. That's all. Just give us that chance.
Okay. To all you who watch this, you've heard the gist of this. It's very seldom that you get to hear a person speak as open as what's your name again, brother?
My name is Timothy Howell.
Timothy Howell. It's very seldom we get to hear that. And so we hope that there will be others who will step up to the plate and do what this brother has done. Thank you very much. GBR.com, George Foster Rhymes in Valdosta, Georgia, doing what we do because this is what we do. And if we don't do it, who else will do it? Bye-bye.
I work 7 days a week so you can have food to eat. I do a lot of overtime, working hard on the assembly line.